Hey Pisces, welcome to January 2023. I want to wish you all a happy new year. I do hope that this finds you well and in good spirits. I already have some cards here on the table for you. I am really interested to get more in depth with what is going on because it does feel like there has been a slow, maybe even dragging start to this year, but I feel like by the end you are being catapulted into some sort of new venture or opportunity, which is really, really exciting to see. Before we get too far into your reading, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards and stars for you. For those of you who are ready for a more personal, in-depth look into 2023, you can actually get 30% off any astrology reading on my website using the code in the stars through January 14th. You can find all of my links in the description box down below, including my services, astrology blog, and social media accounts. So the first card I actually pulled for you, Pisces, was the Seven of Cups. And I kind of looked at this and I was like, I feel like Pisces is trying to make some sort of decision. Maybe you're having a hard time being decisive on something or seeing something clearly. I just get this very head in the clouds sort of energy, or kind of brainstorming energy, or thinking of different opportunities or possibilities for yourself. I really feel like you've kind of been up in the air. And of course, the card I pulled directly after that was the Hanged Man, and I was like, okay, yep. Maybe some stagnation or taking some time to pause and think things over. And then finally, it was like the Four of Cups. And frankly, I was just like, come on, Pisces, it's time to make the decision already. Just decide. And I think that's kind of an energy that you are coming into this month. Maybe there's even some friends who are kind of pushing you towards some sort of direction, because we do have Mercury retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. We are in Capricorn season. And for you, Capricorn energy does really represent your social networks, your friends, your support systems. There could be people who are really trying to encourage you or move you along here. But I feel like on the surface, it sort of looks like maybe you're just thinking about things, or maybe you're just not being very active or being very proactive. I actually feel like there's something that is scaring you, Pisces. And it's like you're avoiding. You're avoiding something. And I really see this with the raccoon and the rabbit card that I pulled from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Both of these cards have kind of a fearful, sneaky, or shadowy energy to me. I feel like with the raccoon, it's almost like you've gotten so caught up in a routine or a role or a pattern, and it's hard to break. And it's like people don't necessarily see the real you with that mask over your face. And then with the rabbit, it's like I get this almost paralyzed with fear energy, but I don't think other people see it. And honestly, I don't even know if you see it, Pisces. Like, I don't even know if you realize that you've been afraid of something. And again, like, kind of thinking of the astrology, this makes some sense because we do have a lot of Aquarius energy this month. We do have Venus entering into Aquarius on January 2nd. Saturn has been in Aquarius since 2020 and will actually be there just for a couple more months before it enters into your sign. And it feels like, kind of thinking of that actually, I feel like in the next couple of months, especially in March, there's really going to be this moment where it's like you have to make decisions. You just have to move forward. And it's like you might be letting go of certain things. And it's like decisions you don't necessarily want to make. And it's like you're putting them off. I really, really do get that. And like what's even funnier is the challenge this month is the Two of Cups. Now, oftentimes this does speak of relationships and romantic connections or intimacy. But honestly, I see this as you having a hard time committing to something. Because this doesn't just have to be about emotions. This can sometimes indicate being committed or emotionally committed to something. And it just feels like this repeating message over and over and over again. You have to let me know, Pisces, what are you putting off in the comment section down below? Because your guides, your angels, your ancestors, whoever it is who's coming through for you really is is just telling me there is something you are delaying. And to be honest, Pisces, I feel like when you finally make a decision or you actually start taking action towards something, you're gonna laugh at it. Because it's like you're preparing for this cliff dive, this huge wild journey, and I feel like the moment you drop off or take that leap of faith, it's just a couple inches. And you're like, I was afraid of this. Why did I waste so much of my time? And I'm not going to say it was all for a waste. I feel like you've been needing to think about things. You've needed to introspect, but I think you've stayed in this energy a little bit too long, and now it's becoming maybe a bit self-sabotaging. We do have the Hierophant and the Ace of Coins coming out in the future. The Hierophant is in reverse. So I do feel like some of you could be coming into some money. There could be a new income source. I feel like you are investing in something that is untraditional, or you might be starting something that is untraditional, especially with work. Or this could just be finding stability in something that is kind of outside of what was considered traditional for you during your upbringing. And I feel like you're making a lot of connections very suddenly as well. And if you've been in sort of a fog or a hazy energy, especially as we have Mercury and Mars retrograde at the start of this month, Mars is going to be going direct on the 12th, Mercury is going direct on the 18th. So there's a lot more energy that is building momentum. I think a lot of people have just been suffering from burnout, and maybe that's part of what's been going on for you. Or just like some sort of agitation, and like you've really been needing to think about like, well, what am I going towards? Why am I going towards it? And I feel like there has been some necessary soul searching again, but I think you've almost gotten too lost in the sauce with that. And I really feel like now you are deciding to move forward, or something is shifting. And I think especially with Mercury going direct in the sign of Capricorn, there could be opportunities that are coming in through social networking or from online opportunities. There could just be very fated connections, or someone who is offering you something that just feels like it's out of left field. And with Uranus going direct in the sign of Taurus, this is happening on the 22nd, the day after the Aquarius new moon. Both of these sort of movements really do indicate sudden connections and sudden insights and intuitions, and maybe even information coming in through your dreams. So definitely pay attention to those as well. We do have Venus coming together with the sign of Saturn the same day that we have Uranus going direct in Taurus. And for me, this really is like you committing to something that is untraditional, in a very obvious and literal way, with Venus and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which is very non-traditional, very revolutionary. Um, I really feel like I'm connecting to this group where it's like your purpose or your passion or the thing you are supposed to be doing with your life, or maybe this is even talking about relationships, but this feels more specific to you, to be honest. Um, it doesn't look the way it doesn't look like anything you've ever encountered before. It's almost like you have no context for this. And for some of you, you may even have like an intercepted house in your astrology chart. Interceptions are where you have a sign that is not on the cusp of any house. This only works in quadrant house systems. This doesn't apply to whole sign. I use quadrant houses myself for a lot of my readings, especially like one-on-one readings. Um, And with those interceptions, when you have those floating signs, there's like an area of your life that you are going to have to completely invent. There's context that you are missing. And there's something brand new that you want to try. And it's almost like you could have a talent that you have literally never even attempted to do before. And I'm really getting that with this group, and that could potentially even become a job for you at some point. And maybe this is even challenging to your spirituality or your spiritual upbringing, especially if you had like a religious upbringing. I could really see this. But I do see opportunity. I do see abundance. I do see stability. I do see fertile new beginnings here, which we love, love seeing. And I think this makes sense because we also have Venus entering in your sign towards the end of the month as well. Venus is actually exalted in your sign, Pisces, and this is really bringing blessings and beauty into your life. And also kind of interesting that we do have the moon entering into Taurus the day after. There's not like a full moon or new moon or anything with that. But that Taurus moon is going to be touching into Uranus going direct as well. And I think that's just a very intuitive time. That's a very clarifying time for you. You're making a lot of connections, and suddenly everything makes sense. And you know what it is that you need to do. But I'm going to be honest, I still feel like you're afraid to do it. Just do it. This video is confirmation. Do the thing. Do this thing. Go off the beaten path in your life. The universe is literally trying to hand you a new opportunity here. And it's like you don't know if you should take it. Don't overlook this. This is literally a gift from the universe that is being handed to you this month, Pisces. There's this opportunity, and for some reason you're second guessing it. You've been thinking about it. Maybe you've even been thinking about it since like August when Uranus first went retrograde. And now something is just making sense. So really pay attention to that time frame. Are there any other messages for Pisces? I'll pull another animal card for you. I'll pull another animal card. Show us clearly, please. I did see the snake and the elk just now. Interesting. We had the cobra. Yeah, those two didn't really feel like the card that was meant to come out, but interesting that we do have this serpentine energy. And what's so funny about this card to me, Pisces, Cobra literally represents waiting for the perfect time to strike. And very often there is like a spiritual sort of energy with this, sometimes a spiritual teacher. And, maybe that is represented by the Hierophant in reverse, kind of wisdom coming from unexpected places. There could be someone you are following online or someone who shows up in your life who has some sort of perspective or wisdom that is beneficial to you. But really, when I see the cobra, it's like there is also this inner wisdom, this inner teacher. And if there is an external person, it's ultimately helping you. It's someone who's helping you connect to this wisdom in yourself. And it's like you are striking, you are moving forward towards something. And so I feel like it's important to meditate, it's important to be spiritually connected, but that is not exclusive to taking action and being proactive in your life either. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Pisces. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. You are also more than welcome to check out the other videos on the playlist for this month. I especially recommend checking out for your rising and moon sign in addition to your sun sign to get a really good sense of what January has in store for you. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Pisces.